Y'all, the movie Friday is one of my favorite movies ever. I've been laughing at that movie since I was a little itty bitty boy, and I still laugh at it in the same way as an adult. But y'all, Smokey was a horrible friend. His friend, like he was a terrible friend, and there's no way I would ever been cool with Smokey anymore after that Friday if I was Ice Cube. And it makes sense that we know Chris Tucker character never came back because he was getting all that Rush Hour money, right? But listen, man, him and Craig did not need to be cool no more. Now it would have been funny for us to see them interact with each other on screen in other movies, but in the real concept of that friendship and that whole friendship dynamic, that shit was terrible. First of all, when the movie started off, Smokey is getting his own best friend high off of Big Worm supply, right? Smokey sell weed, and he getting him high off of Worm's own supply. Smoking it up, knowing, hey man, you ain't sold this weed. And you know you're going to be in debt to Big Worm if you don't get this going. You know you're going to get your mans to smoke it up, right? And then when Big Worm come around to ask Smokey where that bud at that you had, you know what I mean? First he said, where that money at? And he like, oh man, I ain't even sold it yet. You know, he's like, dudes are broke these days. That's what Smokey said. They broke these days. He said, well, give me the bud. I'll sell it on my own. And then he said, you know what, man? Craig got fired, right? And we had to smoke us some stuff. Put his homeboy in harm's way by telling the dude that he's in debt to that him and his homeboy smoked up the weed. Knowing that Craig might have known it was his supply, but shit, right? Knowing that Craig really ain't got nothing to do with show bullshit and your what's the word I'm looking for? Your lack of responsibility, you know what I mean? And you supposed to be selling these drugs. You know Craig ain't got nothing to do with that. That you've been smoking up on your own supply, but you gonna put him in it in order to make him a target from a dude that you know smoked the dude over $40 or $20. What Craig say he smoked the dude over $40 or $20? When you know a dude is willing to kill over $20 or $40. Now, $20 and $40 was a lot different back in that time. But still, when you know a dude will kill over that, and you put your mans in harm's way, we know you're a horrible friend, dog. We know you're not a good friend at all. And then, after he put him in it, he tried to make it seem like we gotta stick together. It was only after Craig checked his ass about, hold on, you did that. You don't put me in your mess. Then he gonna say, man, you know, hey, I'm telling them it's all on me. If I get dealt with, I get dealt with. I don't even believe Smokey was really gonna tell Worm that. He wasn't gonna go and tell him. He knew that Craig had a heart and Craig was a good person and he wasn't gonna let him take the fall by himself. He knew Craig was gonna stand by his side and ride with him because Craig was a loyal friend. Smokey was not. He was not a loyal friend at any point in the movie. And I'm like, yo, is Craig ready to standing on all your beefs? Right? Like in a situation where Smokey now, because he owed Big Worm $200. And Smokey went, when he found out that Debo was asleep in a room with Felicia, he broke up in the room and tried to go through Debo's pockets to get the $200 that Debo stole from what's it, my man, Stanley's house, from Stanley's house earlier that day, right? He tried to go in Debo's pockets to get the $200. Ezell come through the window and wakes Debo up. Smokey had to abort mission and leave the house without the $200, right? But you know, when he came later on that day, we see that what's my girl name? What Nia Long character name is, man? Is it Debbie? Yeah. So Debbie comes up to Debo, pissed off with Felicia because Felicia didn't got her nose broke, or she didn't got whooped on and beat on by Debo because he accused Felicia of going through his pockets. And I didn't get this earlier, but it was really Smokey that was really going through the pockets, right? Smokey was going through his pockets, fumbling through his pockets. He thought it was Felicia, so he beat on Felicia, right? And so at the point when Debo is about to put hands on Debbie, Craig steps in to fight him, right? Now in this fight, Craig started holding his own, but then Debo started whooping the shit out of Craig, beating the hell out of Craig. Now, at any point, Smokey could have been like, man, you know what? This all started off something that I did. I gotta help my homeboy. No point did he say I'm gonna help my homeboy at all. I'm gonna try to help him. I'm gonna try to get him out of this situation that he's in. It's terrible. No point he even thought about this shit. Matter of fact, when he said, I want some of Debo too, he back. Nah, he trying to hold his mama back. But even if you scared, why he ain't looking? Bust him in the head with a goddamn brick, with a chair, with a garbage can, and one of the garbage cans look Chris knocked over or some shit. I don't know. But he ain't trying to help at all. And even if he didn't have nothing to do with the whole situation or altercation behind Craig and Debo happening in the first place, you know this your boy. You know your boy out here riding and dying with you. He done got shot at with you. He done shot back at some dudes that tried to pull a drive-by on y'all, and you ain't gonna help him after the long-ass Friday that y'all done had? You gonna let him get whooped on and beat on and get slammed all on the car and shit? And I'm looking like even Craig family. My mom and them ain't let me go out like that. I wouldn't want my mama to come in like that, but my daddy for damn sure wouldn't have let that happen. My daddy, my brother, you know what I mean, my cousin, them, oh no, we jumping Debo ass and we running his pockets after the fact, right? But I'm just like, yo, Smokey is a horrible friend. He let his boy get whooped on and beat to a pulp and sitting here and ain't doing a goddamn thing about it, letting it ride, letting it slide. Then I'm gonna tell you how bad Smokey even more of a terrible friend. When he knew they was in debt to Debo. I mean, not to Debo. I'm sorry. When he knew they were in debt to Big Worm, when Smokey was owing Big Worm that $200, right? And Hector, what's his name? Hector came up and pulled up on him trying to buy some weed, and he act like he didn't want to sell Hector the weed because some stuff that happened to them previously. You know, Hector tricking him and making him smoke angel dust previously. Man, listen, and Craig said, you better get up and make that money. You ain't gonna get me shot up. Hell yeah. At that point, you shouldn't think about, oh, you know, I don't like that Hector gave me angel dust at one time. Listen, you better do what you gotta do to protect you and also your mans that you poured into some bullshit. You sitting back acting like you ain't gonna sell a weed because you mad at Hector. I'm looking at him like, I promise you, I'd have choked the hell out of Smokey. I'd have choked Smokey like Homer Simpson be choking Bart Simpson. It would have been some shit like that. Cause I'm like, yo, this dude is a piece of work. Piece of work. Then also too, I'm gonna say this. He's joking, right? But he knew, and when he went to go cuss Debbie out, when he went to go snap on Debbie for introducing him to Rita, who said she looked like Janet Jackson, right? He going over there, he pissed off about it, talking to Debbie, and he like, so he acting like he low-key was a little flirting with Debbie, knowing that Craig liked Debbie, and Debbie might have a little thing for Craig a little bit too, right? And she like, cause he was like, who? He's like, what Debo Bike doing over here? He's like, oh, he in there. He asked what Debo Bike is doing over there, and Debbie said, oh, he in there with Felicia. And Smokey said, oh shit, y'all parlaying over here, party over here. Like, I'm like, oh, look at him. He trying to sneak his way up in there on Debbie. Now that Rita didn't go the right way, knowing that your man's got a crush on her, and you tried to lay the foundation for them to even be talking. I said, yo, this dude Smokey, man. This motherfucker is a piece of work. Now I know this is a movie, y'all. I'm being silly. But I'm like, yo, now you trying to eye the shorty that you tried to put your man's on with. What type of shit is that? Like, you know, but I'm like, yo, this dude, Smokey is a trip, man. And I'm like, all this started because all the drama that happened really started because Smokey was putting Craig in all this. And that's why when Craig Daddy, rest in peace, John Witherspoon, he came over there and say, man, hey, give him over here. Oh, bring some shit down here. That sounds just like my dad. Stop bringing that boy over here. Bring shit down here everywhere you go. Bringing all this shit down here. I'm like, yo. Yeah, but yeah, if Smokey, me saying all this, with me saying all of that and knowing all of that we saw in the movie, there's no way Craig should have still been Smokey's friend. I'd have had to, I mean, what's up, man? But I ain't kicking it with you. We ain't riding together, all that. No, bro. No. You didn't put me in too much. You didn't almost got me killed. You let me get beat on off a situation you knew that really was ignited from you trying to get some money to save our ass, but still, you know, you still let me get whooped on and you ain't even trying to help. Even though Craig got back up and whooped on Debo ass, but yeah, you know. Anyway, man, that's just my opinion on it. Machiavelli Mills TV, I'm out. Peace.